Hello, children. Welcome to Geography second chapter. Indian physiography. Main objectives that we learn from this lesson are 1. General features of the landform of India. 2. Physiographic divisions of India. 3. Important features of the physical divisions. Children, as we know, India is a vast country and has variety landforms. When you look at the surface land of India, we can find mountains, plateaus, there is a higher level land, plains, valleys, and coastal plains. All these landforms are influenced by river systems, climate, natural vegetations, land use, agriculture, transport, distributions of population, etc. India has four physical divisions. Look at the map. On top, we have the northern mountains. Below that, the northern Great Plains. Center, we have the peninsular plateau, and either side are the coastal plains and islands. Northern mountains are filled with Himalayas, which are young fold mountains and chains of mountains and have highest mountain ranges, deep valleys, and the highest peaks, glaciers and passes, etc. Let us take up the first physical divisions of India, that is the northern mountains. They are a group of young-fold mountains called Himalayas. The whole northern boundary of India is covered with mountains. It spreads from Indus to Brahmaputra for about covering around 2,400 kilometers. Width is between 240 to 320 kilometers, and it covers an area of 5 lakh square kilometers. Himalayas can be divided into three parallel ranges. 1. Greater Himalayas. 2. Lesser Himalayas. 3. Shivalik Hills. And let us study each one in brief. In Greater Himalayas, mountains are continuous and have higher ranges, and their heights are above 6,100 meters. Here, highest peaks of the world are found. For example, Mount Everest, it is the highest peak in the world, and it is found between Nepal and Tibet, and its height is 8,848 meters. Apart from this, we have Kanchanajunga, Makolo, Dhaulagiri, Nanda Devi, etc. They have many glaciers. Glaciers means a slowly moving masses of ice, like Gangotri and Yamunotri glaciers. They also have passes which connect one end to the another, like Brazil, Lozila, Shipkila, etc. What is the Trans Himalayas? The mountain lying to the northwest of the Himadri are called Trans Himalayas. The highest peak in India is K2 or Mount Godwin Austen in Karakoram range. Can you identify in the map? Where is it? Yeah, there you can see on the top. The second type is the Lesser Himalayas. It's located to the south of Greater Himalayas. It's also called Himachal. Width is 60 to 80 kilometers. Height is between 1500 to 4500 meters. Eastern side is covered with forests. Parallel ranges are found here. Ranges means chains of mountains. Example, Pirpanjal, Dhauladhar, Darjeeling, etc. Beautiful valleys are also can be found here. Example, Kashmir Valley, Kulu Valley, etc. They also have hill stations, means hills on which people reside or live. For example, Shimla, Darjeeling, etc. Third division is the Shivalik Hills. They are also known as Outer Himalayas or hills of Himalaya. Height is between 600 to 1500 meters. Width is 15 to 150 kilometer. They spread or extend from Jammu Kashmir in the west to Arunachal Pradesh in the east. What are dunes? Give an example. Shivalik hills have flat bottom structured valley which are known as a dune. For example, Dehradun. Let us know how Himalayas are important for the Indians. It's a very important question. 1. They prevent cold winds from Central Asia. 2. Prevent foreign invasions. 3. Block the rain-bearing winds and cause heavy rains. 4. Have thick forests. 5th, it's good for plantation crops. 6th, it's a storehouse of minerals. 7th, and it's a birthplace of many rivers. The last 8th one is it generate hydroelectric power. Length is 2500 kilometers. Width is between 240 to 340 kilometers. And total area is 7 lakh square kilometers. And it has a flat land and rocks are not found on the surface. The second physiographic division of India is Northern Great Plains. It's between Himalayas and Peninsula Plateau of India. How are they formed? They are formed by depositional work of three river systems, namely Sutlej, Ganga and Brahmaputra. The largest alluvial soil tract in the world is found here. The importance of Northern Great Plains. They are very, very important because one is suitable for agriculture. Two, suitable for transport and communication. Three, useful for industrialization. Four, better for urbanization. Fifth, good for trade. And sixth, many pilgrim centers are found. Third physiographic divisions of India is the Peninsular Plateau. Plateau is a higher level land. It is the largest physical division of India. This is the oldest region belonging to Gondwana age. It covers 16 lakh square kilometers. It is in a triangular shape and its apex means the highest point is formed by Cape of Kanyakumari in south end. The Peninsular Plateau has many hills and plateaus like Aravalli, Vindhyas, East and West Ghats, Deccan, and Malwa plateaus. Aravalli range is found in northwest of India. See the map. The oldest fold mountains lies to the northwest. Guru Shikhar is the highest peak on Mount Abu in Aravalli range. Vindhyan and Satpura ranges are found here. Narmada and Tapi are west flowing rivers in Peninsular Plateau. You may be asked to mark in the map, or you may be asked to give an example for west flowing rivers in India. The Peninsular Plateau has Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Western Ghats, which spread from Tapi Valley to Kanyakumari, are also known as the Sahyadris. Western Ghats are continuous higher and they have important passes like Borghat, Talghat, and Palghat. Western Ghats are called as Anaimalai, Palani, and Cardamom or Elaimalai hills. Anamudi in the Anaimalai is the highest peak in South India. The Eastern Ghats runs almost parallel to the east coast of India. They extend from Mahanadi Valley in the north to Nilgiri Hills in the south. Western and Eastern Ghats join at Nilgiri Hills. Eastern Ghats are lower than Western Ghats and not continuous. The highest peak in Eastern Ghats is Harmakonda. The Deccan Plateau is bounded by Satpur and Vindhyas in the northwest, the Western Ghats in the west, the Eastern Ghats in the east, the Mahadev and Maikala ranges in the north. The Chota Nagpur Plateau lies in the northeastern part of the peninsula. Why the Peninsular Plateau is important? They are very, very important because one, they are very rich in minerals. Two, have thick forests and biodiversity. Three, causes southwest monsoon rains. Four, useful for agriculture. Sixth, the birthplace of many rivers. Sixth, it generates electricity. And last one, they have many hill stations. The last physical division is the coastal plains. We have coastal areas either side. It extends from Rann of Kutch in the west to the deltas of Ganga in the east. Coastal plains can be divided into two: western coastal plains and eastern coastal plains. Western coastal plains lies between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea. It extends from the Rann of Kutch to Kanyakumari. It is very narrow, steep, and rocky. Western coastal plains can be divided into three. One is the Konkan coast. Two is the Karnataka coast. Three is the Malabar coast. Konkan coast is from Gujarat to Goa. Karnataka coast is from Goa to Mangaluru. Malabar coast is from Mangaluru to Kanyakumari. The eastern coastal plain extends from north of river Subarnarekha to Kanyakumari. It lies between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. Eastern coasts are broader than the western coast. Many rivers in South India flow on this plain and form deltas. Many rivers are Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. Eastern coastal plains are divided into two. One, the northern Sarkar, two, Coromandel coast. In the eastern coastal plains, a few lakes are found, which are called lagoons. What are lagoons? Give some examples. Lagoons are salt water lakes that are found in the eastern side are called lagoons. Example, Lake Chilka, Lake Pulicat, and Lake Kolleru. You may be asked to mark all these places in the map. Coastal plains are economically very important. You may be asked as a like a 2 marks questions why it is very important. One, they have natural harbor. Two, foreign trade. Three, fishing takes place. Four, agricultural activities. Fifth is the production of salt. Sixth, shipbuilding. Seventh, navigation takes place. And last one, very much attractive to the tourists. Islands of India, either side of India we can find. And totally we have around 247 islands. And among these, 204 are found in Bay of Bengal and 43 are in Arabian Sea. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are in the Bay of Bengal. The Lakshadweep Islands are in the Arabian Sea, which are formed by corals. Okay, children, with this we end this chapter. Let us go for evaluation. Shall I ask you a few questions? Yes, be ready for the questions. First question, which are the main physiographic divisions of India? Yeah, you got the answer. There are four. One is the northern mountains. Two, the northern Great Plains. Three, the peninsular plateau. And the last fourth one, the coastal plains and islands. Second question, where do the Eastern Ghats and the Western Ghats meet each other? Yes, they meet each other at Nilgiri Hills. Third question, which is the highest peak in South India? Yes, you are right. It is the Anamudi, Anamalai Hills. Once again, I'll repeat. It is Anamudi in the Anamalai Hills. Fourth one, the Greater Himalayas are also known as, yes, it's known as Himadri. Okay, children, let me give you a small homework. Please note down. Yes. State the importance of the northern mountains. Note down the question. Here the homework. State the importance of the northern mountains. So with this we come to an end of this chapter. Thank you very much. Take care. Stay safe. Bye.